Dogman down here. We are in Warframe. It is Specters of the Rail. By the time you guys see this, it's probably like 15 hours since it's released, so I'll be shocked if anyone actually is gonna watch it, honestly, at this point. But for my true fans and followers and everybody that's been waiting for it, let's get down to business. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole update here in one video, because that would just be stupid. It'd be like 3 hours. What I want to do is kind of just overview some of the stuff here. I am not going to pretend to know every single thing that's going on at this moment. Of course, I have it all listed on the Warframe, or the NOG forums, of course, all the information and changes and everything, and we'll go through it in several videos, and I will give you more detailed thoughts about all of these changes as I've had more time to play with them and really decide what I think about them, because that's, at this point, that's where I'm at with stuff, you know, whether I think it's good, bad, and all that crap. So yeah, just for the sake of full disclosure, legal disclosure like you should be doing, Specters of the Rail, for Day 1 Access members of Media Group, that type of thing, we were given the new Archwing, the Amesha, whatever you call it, Archwing, and the new Okina, and the dual dagger stance, the spinning needle. I did actually have some problems where you may see it in the video background here, where I picked up the weapon and I got it. I put mods all over it and I put the stance on and everything. When I went into the first mission, it cleared it all out. It was blank. I'm like, really? What the fuck? Problems still exist. They have so many things going on. It's a huge update, of course. This is only part 2 out of 3. The star chart has changed. The redesign is similar to kind of like a little inspiration from the old star chart, if you will, making it kind of easier to travel the system. The map is dynamic. You can zoom in and zoom out, drag your way around, that type of stuff. Regions and missions are easier to locate. They've also made it clear to see which missions you need to complete, thanks to the new junctions, which are routes between the planets, guiding you on where to go next, which I'm kind of ticked off about the fact that I have to go through all these again personally, because I mean, I've had the chart unlocked for years. I don't care if you change the chart to whatever you want. I want it all fucking unlocked at this point. I don't feel like I have to go through all this shit again. But that's just me. They've replaced and reassigned missions. They removed the deception. And they also removed Archwing defense missions. You got difficulty, planet progression. Enemy levels are all reassigned throughout the system. And what they did in terms of where you no longer see contributing founders on each planet, there's a dedicated memorial in all the relays now for this. I haven't gone to see it yet. I know if I check my profile, it still says Pluto Outer Terminus for me, and so forth and so on. I'm not overly impressed with the change of the star chart, I'll be honest with you guys about it. I mean, this is the 3rd time we're changing this shit again. You know, we're so far into the game, why are we doing all these overhauls like this? To be honest, I'm starting to feel like other games that just can't seem to keep the core stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. We got new junctions here, basically. These junctions link your travel between the planets, if you will. Venus is the Mercury junction for the Once Awake and Howl the Kubo quests. Earth to Mars is the Archwing junction. Mars to Phobos is the Stolen Dreams junction. Jupiter to Europa is the New Strange and Limbo Therium blueprint to Junction. Saturn to Uranus is Nata and Clem's quest. Uranus to Neptune is a second dream. Pluto to Sedna Junction is the hidden messages. And Pluto to Eris Junction is the Patient Zero blueprint and the Jordas Precept blueprints. Sands of Inaris blueprint is still obtained from Baro Katir. That's how you can get some of these items now. Void 2.0, I really don't understand this whole thing yet. It's going to take me some more time to go through it. I mean, and if you guys want comments, just go ahead and, tell me what you want to talk about or discuss or see more of first and understand more of, and I'll try to go through that in videos. The Void Fissure, which is a dynamic occurrence throughout the Origin system, a tear in the world of void energy. Represented in the world state window and occurs in 4 different tiers. The Void Relic, ancient relics that react to void fissures to reveal treasures within. Void Traces, raw void energy that drops in the process of uniting relics and fissures. Can be used to refine void relics to yield more rare rewards in your orbiter. That's something to talk about. I still have to get it. I have to go over to the Mars Junction and get the piece that I need to unlock the segment inside my orbiter. Reactant drops in missions and must be used in the Void Fissure sealing process. I have no idea. Refinement, the process of improving the likelihood of rare rewards from Void Fissure relics. You now have Lilith, Meso, Neo, and Axie. There are 4 distinct eras in the Orkin Pass, all suddenly manifesting through the void fissures in the solar map. T1 keys have been turned into Lilith. T2 keys have been turned into Meso, whatever you want to call them. Tier 3 keys were turned into Neo keys, and Tier 4 keys were turned into Axie keys. Took me a little while to find them. I did find them, and I have a shit ton of keys because I was just ranking up the keys so I could be prepared for this. The Void Relic segment, which is found on the Junction, like I said, is used to refine Void Relics. So you have to go to the Mars Junction and do that requirement of stuff. It's like a whole list of 4 or 5 different things before you can get that segment to be able to do whatever you have to do. Blah 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 blah. Refinement costs for improving intact Void Relic are as follows: exceptional 25 Void Traces, flawless 50 Void Traces, radiant 100 Void Traces. Dragon keys will now require 10 Void Traces to craft instead of Void keys. Their blueprints have also been moved to a more appropriate place, the Orkin Lab. And how to acquire relics. You can acquire relics by playing through certain regular mission types, typically endless missions. Any void keys you have will be converted, so forth and so on. Relics are not restricted to towers and precise missions the way void keys are, so all void keys of a particular era will be converted into relics in a similar level. Blah blah blah. Mission Sound 2.0. Yeah, they overhauled it, and I just hate some of the stuff that I'm hearing in the background. It just pisses me off. I don't necessarily need to have all this extra sound bites and changes, and it's just annoying to me. Archwing overhaul. Yeah, Archwing has been upgraded to a full 6 degrees of freedom. Now you'll be able to pilot your Archwing in a true flight simulator with full 360-degree yaws and pitch. Submersible missions still use the old controls. The new Archwing UI control binding to further enhance. Blah 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 blah. That's where I'm at with this, guys. Honestly, I don't like the new system, the overhaul. Can't. This full 6 degrees of access bullshit. It actually made me sick running the mission. There's a whole bunch of new mods out there. Dual stat mods, if you will, for impact, puncture, slash, and status chance mods. For arc melee, arc guns, augments, for Elytron, Itzal, Odinata. They're all out there. I just bought the other stuff, the other weapons that came with it, just to get it over with. I'm not impressed with the overhaul. Like I said, I don't like the new movement system at all. It just seems more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, who the fuck has a flight simulator joystick to run around and... I mean, seriously, I'm playing on a keyboard and mouse. You know, a full 6 degrees of freedom, really? My map was crooked half the time because I couldn't figure out how to get that straightened again. Market overhaul, sure, it's there. I played around with it. A lot of stuff that I couldn't find right away. You have to search for it, different buttons to push. You know, it is what it is. Overhaul, there you go. Cavets and companion system improvement. Yeah, I can't really get into too much detail on it. It's there. I'll get back to you once I figure out what's going on with it. I could just tell you that I bought the packages. I bought the segment for the cavets, and I installed the segment, and I made my first one, and it's named Ugly because it was ugly. That's gold, and it was ugly gold with some like purple bottom or something. I don't know. It's there, so I named it Ugly. I know what you're thinking right now. Man, this guy's bitter. No, I'm not bitter. I don't know right now, with what limited amount of time that I've played, if this whole change and all these new things are really new, or just let's make things look prettier instead of actually fixing stuff. And there's a whole bunch of fixes, but I haven't gotten to go through all that stuff yet. But I don't know. New lore system. They added displays so you can change the look of your orbiter. New weapons and stances. We talked about the Orkana a bit. Melee holstering customization is there. ADI holster collection purchased through the market. Item linking in chat. See, item links is a popular pastime in other MMOs, so now you can do it in this fucking game. General editions. Your arsenal will now display its corresponding skin icon. Blah blah blah. Lunaro and Conclave changes. I don't even give a shit about. PvE, PvP stance alterations, plus new PvP melee stance mods. They've decided to remove the functionality of PvE stances within Conclave matches. This design choice was implemented as they felt that the current moveset provided by the PvE stances didn't quite fit the feel of PvP. Using animations from existing melee stances, alternate versions have been created with the focus on gap closing moves and so forth and so on. Abilities and augments and first nullifiers. They've added some changes to nullifiers. Actually, they fixed the nullifiers. Nullifiers and augments to provide predictable interactions with the nullifier bubble and ability immune enemies. So this is what they've done. They adhere. Abilities will not affect players or enemies within the nullifier bubble, of course. Effects of any ability on both players and enemies will be removed when entering the bubble. The Warframe's active ability will be deactivated upon entering the bubble. Projectiles spawned by an ability will be deflected when they encounter a nullifier bubble. For example, Ember's Fireball and Ash's Shuriken will be deflected. That's fucking stupid. Abilities that exist independent of their creator will not be deactivated if the Warframe enters the nullifier, but will be destroyed if touched by the bubble itself. Well, duh. Okay. Frost Snow Globe will not disappear when Frost enters the bubble, but will be destroyed if the bubble comes into contact with the Snow Globe sphere. Okay, sure. Interception changes and fixes, adjusted the enemy counts for each mission, improved the enemy tactics, blah blah blah. So they didn't really fix nothing. They didn't fucking fix anything. I'm sorry. And there's a whole shit ton of changes. I don't even want to go through it all. There's just too much to go through at one time. To tell you, like I said, we'd be here for hours on end. And I know that, I guess in the past, I probably would have done that, but at this point, I'd rather know what people want to discuss more and try to focus on that, than just put out a whole bunch of everything and whatever. But I did say I will give you more thoughts on everything as I play more and more of it. And I get a better feel for some of it. And you know, a lot of it has to do with these are all major changes, so there is some resistance after playing it a certain way for so long to understand the new stuff. But again, leave you with the I'm not quite sure whether this is all visual based and you know it's just a way of hiding some of the underlying shit that's still not fixed, so forth and so on. Okay, I will catch you guys in next episode. Thanks for tuning in.